Welcome back to Smoked Meat with Jeff, on location, camping in Bodega Bay. Grab some pork ribs, let's have some fun. Alright, camping in Bodega Bay, great place to be, nice and relaxed. Brought all sorts of stuff to throw on the smoker, so let's do some pork ribs and make everybody in the campground jealous. Just going to need a couple of really basic supplies. Of course, you need something to keep you hydrated, because after all, if you're not here to relax, what the hell are you going camping for? So some real basic supplies. Of course, you're going to need some pork spare ribs, and I'm going to prep these just like I did in my other pork rib video, where I'm going to remove the membrane across the bottom. Then you're going to need something to season it with. Brought some of my homemade seasoning. You're going to need some aluminum foil. We're going to use this for the second stage, because we'll be, of course, smoking this for a few hours straight on the grate, and then we're going to wrap it in our little foil boat. And when you come to the foil boat, you're going to need apple juice, but because we're camping, just grab a bottle of Angry Orchard. Busy campground today. And then towards the end, we are going to glaze it with some barbecue sauce. I'm just going to use some KC Masterpiece mixed with some Frank's Red Hot Wing sauce to give it a little bit of a kick. So in about 6 hours or so, we're going to have some nice tender ribs to share with the campground, which brings you to one of the most important things you want to bring if you're camping and you're going to do some smoking. Print up some invitations, because you know, neighbors, your camp neighbors are going to be smelling this all day long, and you may as well invite them over for dinner. So let's get started on opening up our packages and prepping for the smoker. Okay, let's move on to the prep work. Admittedly, the hardest part of prepping your ribs is on the, you want to wash it off really well, and then take a towel and dry off the backside as best you can. On the backside of the ribs, you've got the ribs here, and there's a little membrane right over the top, and we are going to do our best to remove that membrane as best as possible. If you can't, it's not the end of the world, but that membrane makes it a little stringy when you go to eat this and slice it up, but it also acts as a barrier to keep the spices and the flavors from going down into the meat. So just grab a sharp knife. If you have a pair of pliers, which of course I forgot, makes it a lot easier. Just take a sharp knife, get it underneath that membrane, and start peeling it off. It's actually easiest to start at one end and peel across the bones as opposed to going with the bones. Just a little tip there. So I'm going to work on that, and then we're going to season both sides really well with our spices, and then we throw it onto the smoker. I actually dragged mine with me. My wife gave me a hard time, of course. We're going to be smoking with oak today, around 250 degrees. Have this on the smoker for about 3 hours, and then we're going to create our little aluminum foil boats, seal these up with our beer, or actually our Angry Orchard instead of apple juice, and we're going to let that steam cook for the remaining 3 hours to really get it tender. So I'm going to work on this, get it seasoned, throw it onto the smoker. Alright, working on pulling off this membrane. I got it started at one end. Grab a paper towel, makes it easier to hold onto the skin. And you're just pulling it off. And that's what you're trying to remove. And seasoning time. Got the membrane removed. Just going to go ahead and sprinkle a boatload of seasoning on the backside. And then rub it into the meat. When I'm done with this, I'm going to wash my hands really well, because I don't want to contaminate my spice jar there. Flip it over, put down a liberal supply of seasoning on the other side, the top side, and then onto the smoker they go, rib side down, for about 3 hours. All right, ribs are on the smoker. This is what they should look like. Oh, is that beautiful or what? Okay, so these will sit here for about 3 hours, 250 degrees. We're smoking with oak today. And then we're going to pull them off, make our aluminum foil boats, and seal them up with a little bit of our apple juice, or in our case, the Angry Orchard. And then they're going to smoke for about another 3 hours at 250 degrees, and it should be fall off the bone tender. So we'll check back in a little bit. You see what I got to deal with here?
Hi! Hey!
Oh! And they think they're going to get ribs.
I don't know who's dealing with who. When the moon hits your eye like a big piece of pie, that's amore.
Like I said, look at the crap I got to deal with. All right, we've been smoking for about 3 hours. And at this point, we're going to transition to putting our ribs into a foil boat. You can see I got it sealed up there in foil, and I got about 1/3 of a bottle of Angry Orchard. In each one, I still got to wrap this one up. Then these are going to sit in here for about another 2.5 hours, and then we will open them up and glaze them with our barbecue sauce. And at the total of 6 hour mark, we will be ready to eat. So see you in a little bit.
Yes, I do. I really do. And
what are you doing?
like seriously, I'm not gonna lie. I
Roasting
love
marshmallows, and I
this
don't
so
want my
much.
fat arms in your
You're making
video.
marshmallows at what time is it?
All right, it is time to throw on the glaze. As you can see, I got the aluminum foil pulled back, threw some of my glaze on. We're just going to spread it around. You can see the meat's getting really tender right there. And we just go ahead and spread this out. Let it sit for another half hour or so to caramelize, and then it is dinner time. Well, it is about time. Look at that. Let's give this a try. Oh, the bone just falls right out. Look at that. All right, so this is Jeff with Smoked Meat with Jeff. Enjoy those camping trips and some smoked ribs. Till next time.
I'm going to respond what you have to say.